your first look at high school football scores and highlights. This is First Down Friday Night with the WZDX Sports Team. First Down Friday Night is sponsored by your local Health Mart Pharmacy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of First Down Friday Night. I'm Mo Carter, and tonight is week one of the AHSAA football season. Of course, last week, some teams got things started on the gridiron, but tonight, well, actually last night, just about everyone was in action with the end goal of reaching the Super 7 down in Tuscaloosa this year. Due to Mother Nature, we had a lot of games last night across the Tennessee Valley. Now, of course, the second and third members of my crew were out and about for some great week one matchups. We're talking about Charity Chambers and Kayla Carlisle. Ladies, tell me where you were last night.
I'm in Athens for our game of the week as the East Limestone Indians take on the Mars Hill Bible Panthers. And though it's a Class 5A versus 2A matchup, don't let the class size fool you. This was a good matchup. I'll have those highlights coming up.
Last week, the Whitesburg Christian Warriors got their first varsity game under their belts, but this week they were looking to get their first varsity win. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have their matchup against Asbury, as well as a big matchup between Westminster Christian and Geraldine.
All right, thanks, ladies. We'll check back with you in just a few moments. We'll start off with some local action from last night. Grissom taking on Lee at Milton Frank Stadium. Of course, last week the Tigers offense, they couldn't muster anything against Coleman, while Lee just had their way with Columbia. Of course, big contest last night and was seen on ETV. So let's take you out to all the action. There's Coach Chip English, hoping his guys can get a big win. Second possession, Grissom gets on the board first. Jacob Foss throws a short pass to Elijah Johnson, and number one likes to have fun. Watch him scoot into the end zone. 28 yards for a touchdown. Tigers lead 7-0. Coach English is liking what he's seeing so far in a business-like manner. After a great punt return, Grissom is knocking on the door. DeQuan Hood gets the rock and finds the end zone. Touchdown for the Tigers. 14-0 Grissom. Lee's offense, look, they couldn't do anything and couldn't even get in the rhythm, so they're forced to punt, and they get it to Elijah Johnson, and watch Johnson on the punt, scoot around a couple of defenders, keeps his balance, and look, everybody, he's got some blockers. He cuts it back up, 25-20. He starts to stumble, and he's knocked out inside the 10-yard line. But guess what? A few plays later, it's Grissom punching it in with the running styles of Mark Howard. Tigers up 21-0 in the first quarter. Everyone, this one got ugly. Let's check out your final score. Grissom goes on to win by that should be Grissom over Lee, 57-0. Next week, Lee will take on East Limestone, while Grissom will take on arch rival Huntsville. All right, Bob Jones is also in Grissom's region, and last night they took on Buckhorn. It was Kelvis White's debut as the Patriots head coach, and on the opening kickoff, KJ Fields hauls it in, shows some speed, and what about this? The first play of the game, he takes it 89 yards for a touchdown. Bob Jones up 7-0. Next Patriots possession, it's Slate Alford. Watch, he'll be sitting here in the pocket. He'll be looking for a man, and decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just take off, and guess what he does? He can scoot it, watch him cut it back upfield, and then he gets some great yardage right there. However, the drive would stall, so they would have to ask for the kicker, Joseph Wheat, to come on for a 28-yard field goal. It's up and it's good. Bob Jones leading 10-0. Buckhorn with the ball now. Ryan Henry will take the handoff, but he does not protect the ball. And guess what, everyone? He's going to fumble on the turf. Devin Toney recovers it for the Patriots. So Bob Jones with great field position. They will capitalize with it because they add another field goal by none other than Mr. Joseph Wheat. 13-0 at the break. Let's check out your final score from this one as Bob Jones goes on to win by a final of 20-0. Next week, Buckhorn will take on Hazel Green. Bob Jones will take on James Clements. And that game will be played at Lewis Cruz Stadium on the campus of Alabama A&M University. Speaking of James Clements, the Jets begin their season on tomorrow when they travel to Athens. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. between the Jets and the Golden Eagles. Another team that plays in that region, that is Sparkman. They were supposed to play Thompson tonight, but due to the weather in the area, they decided to push their game back until Saturday at 3 p.m. So we've got a handful of games being played in the Tennessee Valley on Saturdays. There was a great game last night down in the city of Boaz between the Pirates and Madison County. Pick things up in the fourth quarter. We got a tie ball game at 14 apiece. Boaz on the move. Carter Lambert taking the snap, throwing it deep down the field, and it's caught by Gavin Smart, 25 yards. Pirates up 21-14. Under 2 minutes to go, Madison County needing a touchdown to force overtime, and they get it from Isaiah Purdue. Watch him plunge across the goal line for a score. Tie ball game, 21-21, so we got free football, everyone. We're going to overtime. Boaz decides to go on defense first, so here comes Madison County. Case Watson on the speed sweep cuts it back and finds the end zone for a score on the first play of OT. 28-21, Tigers on top. Now it's time for Boaz. Lambert steps back to pass. He looks across the middle, and he's intercepted by Evan Vaughn. That's your ball game, boys and girls. Madison County picks up their second straight overtime victory. Check out your final score from this one as they go on to win by a final of 28-21. That's 2 victories in overtime in 2 weeks. Madison County opens up region play next week when they host New Hope. Boaz will take on Crossville in region play. Hey everyone, don't forget, we are on social media at Mo Carter WZDX, at Geraldine WZDX, and at Kayla WZDX, all on Twitter. Shoot us a tweet. We may read it out on air before the show ends. We're just getting started here on First Down Friday night. When we return, we'll take you out east to see if Whitesburg Christian could earn their first win as a varsity football program. The answer is next.
Now back to the action on First Down Friday night.
And welcome back, everyone. In the eastern portion of the viewing area, we got a chance to see Whitesburg Christian Academy go for their first varsity win. Last week, they were unable to get that victory in their debut as a varsity program, but things didn't turn out that way. Kayla Carlisle has more on that game, plus another one from out that way.
Last week, Whitesburg Christian lost to Galesville by just 1 touchdown late in the game. This week, they were looking for some redemption as they took on Asbury on the road.
Week 2 of competing varsity for Whitesburg Christian, and things were looking good. Third quarter, Warriors on top 14-0, and here they are ready to score again. Jordan Harper with the snap. He's going to connect with Benjamin Cox. Warriors get the first down. Shortly after, Harper finds Cox again. This time, he's in the end zone. Warriors get the extra point, and they would go up 21-0. But it wasn't long until Whitesburg would score again. Check out this Harper to Cox connection. Cox makes the catch and carries it home for another Warriors touchdown, 28-zip. But Asbury would try and play their hand. Warriors, Harper goes to pass, but Asbury's Charlie Minton picks it off and he runs. He'd make it a little bit before being taken down, but the Rams would not capitalize and the Warriors would finish with the ball. Backup QB Annan Harper would take a knee, and the Warriors take home their first varsity win in school history. We spoke with head coach Michael Harper after the game about their first shutout win as a varsity program.
I thought we played pretty physical. We still got some things to improve on, but it was really exciting just to get the first win in school history. Like you said, with a shutout, just it's hard to ask for more than that. Let's give the defense a hand clap for that shutout, baby. So we play Faultville next, which is it's gonna be a really tough game. They're a very physical opponent, very well coached. They're always lined up in the right place. They run a physical offense, run a very good scheme on defense. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for us.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Also happening last night, Westminster Christian was in full force after having a few members deal with COVID. They traveled to Geraldine for their first game of the season. First quarter, Wildcats with the ball. Brandon Mush goes to pass, but Geraldine intercepts it, and they would score. The Bulldogs kicking things off with a pick six. Score goes up 7-0. Then things start to get slick. Geraldine with the ball and ready to score. Just as number 16 is about to cross the end zone, he fumbles the ball, and the Wildcats, Cade Atkins, would recover it. Wildcats ball now. Mush pushes back and launches it downfield, but it's the Bulldogs who make the catch. They would not capitalize, though. Still in the first half, Wildcats with the ball again, but we've seen this happen before. Wildcats ready to score, but they fumble the ball, and Geraldine recovers it once more. Geraldine would end up moving the ball downfield, and they find themselves in scoring position once again. QB hands it off to number 16, and he walks it right in this time. Geraldine holds their lead.
And here's a look at your final score for Westminster Christian at Geraldine. Next week now, the Wildcats will be hosting North Jackson as Geraldine will travel to Asbury. In Albertville, I'm Kayla Carlisle, WZDX Sports.
Thanks, Kayla. There's more to come on First Down Friday night. When we return, we're traveling across the river to Decatur for the Red Civil rivalry. Well, I'm going to tell y'all, it wasn't a great result for one team. We'll see why coming up next.
Now, more scores and highlights from across the valley on First Down Friday night.
Hey everyone, you've got 4 ways to watch First Down Friday night. Every Friday at 10 p.m. live on WZDX, live 10 p.m. on RocketCityNow.com. The full show will be available before midnight on our YouTube page, or you can check it out Sunday at 6 p.m. on Whammy 54.2. Well, I want to thank 2 individuals for reaching out to me via text. First of all, Austin Blanco says, at Mo Carter WZDX, we had a great game last night. West Morgan 18 versus East Lawrence 21. And maybe Forsada Burris says, so proud of Natasha Forsadi. Hashtag number 26 kicker. Hashtag beat Decatur. Way to go, Black Bears. And there's a video attached to it. So I'm guessing that the young lady she's referring to is a kicker on the Austin football team. Might have to look into that big story coming up. So congratulations to her. And we'll actually talk about that team in just a moment. Now, 2 teams who were in the state title game last year were in the Huntsville area this week for battles on the gridiron. Thompson will take on LaRon White and the Sparkman Senators on Saturday at 3 p.m. in Harvest. Last night, Mars Hill making their way to Athens to take on East Limestone. It's our varsity game of the week, and Charity Chambers has more.
For East Limestone, this is their first game of the season, as last week's game was canceled due to COVID reasons. Now, like you mentioned, Mo, they're going up against Mars Hill, who has been to the Class 1A state title game for the past 2 seasons. Now, Mars Hill has moved up to Class 2A, and if you were to look at today's matchup on paper and just see Class 5A versus 2A, you would think that it's not a fair fight, but that's not the case. This Mars Hill team is a very talented one, and they ended up showing they came to play. Now, this is our game of the week. East Limestone taking on Mars Hill. The Indians starting off the game with something you don't see too often, an onside kick. Completely caught the Panthers off guard. East Limestone recovers it. But get this, the very next play, Indians fumbled the ball. Mars Hill recovers it. Talk about a momentum shift. And y'all, I gotta say, this was probably one of the craziest first minutes of a high school football game I've ever witnessed. The very next play, Mars Hill's Griffin Hansen sends one deep to Damian Thompson. He says, get off of me. He cruises in for the score, making it 7-0. And Mars Hill ended up shutting out the Indians, winning it 21-0. A little bit down the road, Tanner hosting Lexington. Going into halftime, Lexington led 13-6. The Rattlers getting something going, though, largely in part to this workhorse right here, Evan Fuqua. He was running over folks all game, just like you see here. He picks up the first down. Very next play, Skylar Townsend hands it off to Fuqua again. Fuqua jukes some defenders before hitting the outside, picking up yet another first down. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Fuqua with the ball again, finds the hole and then just makes some room, cruises in for the score, making it another 6 points for the Rattlers, so they only trail by 1. Now they can tie it, of course, with the extra point, but it would be no good, so the Golden Bears still lead 13-12. A little bit later, Tanner in a bit of some trouble. It's 4th down, they're punting, they're trying to avoid a safety here. It's a low snap. Nick Gibson tries to run it out of the end zone now. He does so. He avoids the safety, but now Lexington has some really great field position. Can they capitalize on it though? First down. A little confusion about the handoff there. They fumble the ball. Lexington recovers though. Second down. Ball bounces off the quarterback's helmet, causing yet another fumble. Golden Bears get on top of it though. 3rd and goal, and I gotta say, things are just not going Lexington's way. The QB rolls to his left. He's feeling the pressure, so he just gets rid of it. So it's 4th down on the 5-yard line. They're just gonna go for it. QB once again rolls to his left, throws it up to the end zone, and it's almost picked off. So Lexington unable to capitalize on that great field position. Tanner completely shut the Golden Bears out in the second half, and they go on to win it 20-13. Next week, Lexington will be taking on Red Bay. Tanner will be taking on Section. East Limestone will be traveling to Lee. Mars Hill will be taking on Sheffield. That'll do it for me here at Athens. Mo, send it back to you.
Hey, thank you so much, Charity. Now, the River City rivalry features crosstown foes Decatur and Austin. They've met 57 times going into last night. The Red Raiders, they lead the series 36-21, but Austin has won the last 5 games, including a 56-14 thumping last season. So let's take you out to the Decatur area for all the action. A nice crowd that was practicing social distancing on hand to see these two city rivals. Austin wasted no time. Second play of the game, Quincy Crittenden, a former First Down Friday Night MVP of the week, hitting Trey Shackelford in stride, 80-yard touchdown. Black Bears would actually go for 2, but that would fail, so they're only up 6-0. On the ensuing kickoff, Austin going for the quick pooch kick, and I can tell that Decatur was not ready for this one. It falls right there in the gap. Red Raiders can't get a hand on it, but the Black Bears do, and all of a sudden, they've got more momentum going in the direction of the end zone. And guess what? So facing 4th and 10, here goes Crittenden. He lobs it up in the end zone. Winston Lyle hauls it in. 30-yard touchdown. 12-0 in the first 2 minutes of the game. Crittenden had 236 passing and 3 touchdowns through the air. Still in the first quarter, Austin decides to pound the rock with Javon Jackson. Jackson's like, get off me. Watch him pick up that first down right there. Then, hey, why don't you reward the young man right here? Number 22 goes in for the score. It is 20-0 in the first 5 minutes of this game. Let's check out your final score from the River City rivalry. Austin crushes Decatur last night by a final of 67-3. Next week, Austin will take on Florence. Decatur will take on Muscle Shoals. All right, everyone, here's a look at a lot of scores from last night. As soon as you finish looking at these scores, we'll be right back on First Down Friday night. Told you it was.
Now back to the action on First Down Friday night.
All right, everyone, we'll wrap up the show tonight. Fort Payne on the road taking on Gadsden City. Let's see how Fort Payne did against the Titans. They come running out of the bag last night, but early on it was the Titans striking first. Jaquan Woods on the speed sweep, watch him break a few tackles, keeps his balance across the 10-5, and it's in for the score. Touchdown, Mr. Woods. Titans up 7-0. Later, Gaston with the ball again. Watch this play. Brady Troop mishandles the snap. He gets it back on the scramble and finds, guess who? A wide open Jaquan Woods, and he hauls it for 48 yards. 14-0 Gaston City. Fort Payne fighting back, though. They finally get things going. Aston Brown right up the gut. He hits the outside, and he won't be denied the end zone right here. That cuts Gaston City's lead down to 14-7. But in the end, Gaston, they were just too strong. C.J. Miller right up the middle. Nobody touches him on the 57-yard touchdown right here. Titans up big at the break. Let's check out your final score on this one as Gadsden City goes on to win by a final of 45-20. Next week, Fort Payne will be in action against Arab. All right, everybody, nominations are open for the First Down Friday Night Week 1 MVP of the Week. If you know a deserving athlete, you can send us over the nominations. Of course, you want to shoot us an email, news@rocketcitynow.com. Hook us up with the name, the team, the position, and the most important thing, the stats from the last game. Yes, we know they're a wonderful individual in the community. They're a wonderful individual in their church. We need to know what they did on the football field. So shoot us those emails, and who knows, you may be able to nominate and help us select the next, actually the first Down Friday Night MVP of the week. Well, we reached the end of week 1. We got a couple of games on tomorrow. You see highlights on that on Sports Extra. Will return Sunday at 10 p.m. Be safe, everyone. Hope you have yourself a great weekend, and don't forget to mask up. All right, everyone, have a great night. Take care.
You've been watching First Down Friday Night, sponsored by your local Health Mart pharmacy.